They say Stalin once plucked a chicken bare to prove how easy it is to rule the weak. Bleeding, cold, and humiliated, the poor thing still followed him when he tossed it a few grains of wheat. He turned to his men and said, "This is how you govern stupid people. Hurt them, then feed them just enough to make them forget." Now imagine that chicken wearing a toque and holding a Tim Hortons cup. Welcome to modern Canada, where the feathers aren't ripped off all at once. They're taxed off, regulated off, and politely reasoned off for your safety, for equity, and for the planet. You lose a little freedom here, a little purchasing power there, until one day you wake up barebacked in the wind, shivering under the warm glow of your government rebate. Every few months, Ottawa strolls by with a smile and tosses out a few crumbs. A carbon rebate, a grocery credit, a free program that somehow costs you double next year. We cluck and nod, grateful for the kindness of our captors, then go back to pecking at whatever crumbs are left after inflation's finished with us. Meanwhile, Canadians line up at food banks in record numbers. Small businesses shutter, manufacturers move south. And our leaders, on both sides, they pose for selfies, pad their pensions, and somehow grow richer in the middle of the storm. But don't worry, the headlines say everything is fine. That's what happens when the hand that feeds you also writes the news. The state-funded storytellers in shiny studios will tell you what to think, what to fear, and when to panic, and who to hate. And if you dare question it, you're branded a radical, a conspiracist, or worse, an independent thinker. We saw it all during the scandemic. Extreme lockdowns that crushed livelihoods and isolated the elderly, and still failed to stop the spread. Mandates that divided families and cost people their jobs, all for a vaccine that at best didn't work, and at worst was never meant to. And yet, years later, the same featherless chickens still line up for their next booster, convinced obedience equals virtue. Some even wear masks while driving alone, looking down on the rest of us who still have a few feathers of common sense left. And when the people did stand up, the truckers, the welders, the nurses, the farmers, they were all called extremists for honking too loud. They didn't burn cities. They didn't storm buildings. They sang "Oh Canada." For that, their accounts were frozen, their reputations smeared, and their leaders dragged through years of courtrooms. And now, as if to make their point crystal clear, the Crown is appealing their sentences, because apparently even mercy needs government approval. But here's the thing. Every farmer knows a chicken can't soar far, but it can still fly far enough to get out of the pen. That is, if its feathers are intact. A plucked bird doesn't dream of flying. It just waits for the next handful of feed. And maybe that's the goal. Keep people grounded, dependent, and convinced they were never meant to fly in the first place. That's not compassion. That's control wearing a friendly smile. And somewhere above us, beyond the noise, the veterans who fought and died for this country's freedom must be watching. Men and women who froze in trenches, who bled on beaches, who believed liberty was worth dying for. I wonder what they see now. A nation trading courage for control, independence for handouts, conviction for blind obedience. Maybe they don't say a word, just shake their heads in disbelief because this isn't the Canada they fought for. But maybe, just maybe, there's still time to make them proud again. Maybe some feathers can grow back. If enough of us stand up, speak out, and remember what freedom feels like before the Coop door closes for good.